is calling loud. ShineOn lights up every crowd. PODNinjas, they're on the move. Teeinblue's got the holiday groove. Options stack like gifts in snow. Which way to win you already know. Shine bright, shine on, make it clear. Q4 is the best time of the year. PODNinjas and Teeinblue are the crew. Pick your path, the choice is you.
Hello, 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 my lovely shiny family and everyone else. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We are so happy to see you. Today is a little bit different from what we normally do on Coffee with ShineOn, and I couldn't be more excited about the people who are joining me today. Let's get them on. Let's get them on. All right. Well, hello, you two.
Hello. That intro song, I was not expecting it to be like customized for what we're doing, and then I heard like PODNinjas and Teeinblue are the crew, and I almost lost it a little bit. That was really cool.
It looks like quite a few people were into it. Yeah, just there's a couple of really interesting custom song options that are out there, and I thought give you guys a little shout out. Absolutely.
That's crazy.
It's pretty fun though, right? I'll send you guys the link so you can make your own.
Great.
Well, you guys, let's get into a little bit more about who we are. You guys might not even know who we are, so let's introduce ourselves. Elle, you want to go first?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Elle. I'm the marketing specialist at Teeinblue, and it's great. It's so great to be on a live stream with ShineOn. I'm so ready for today's webinar. I hope that you guys will have great insights and have fun time with us today.
Absolutely. Joe.
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Joe. I am excited to be here. Thank you, Tammy, for putting this together. I know you've put a bunch of effort into the slides and behind the scenes, like meeting with us. It's been really awesome. So I'm excited to be here. If anybody here doesn't know who I am, like I said, my name is Joe. I started Print on Demand in 2016. I make a bunch of videos online about my experience and what I do with stores, and personally, I'm really into fishing, and I like to hang out at my house with my kids, and I'm enjoying the summertime.
Yes, you've got back to school stuff happening right now, right?
Yeah, Monday they go back.
Man, that is relatable. Yes. For sure. And fishing, I'm here for fishing too. I
Awesome.
love fishing.
Awesome.
You guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tammy. I am the product marketing manager for ShineOn. I have been with ShineOn for a very long time. I'm surprised I don't have more gray hairs. Actually, I might have them. They're just purple now. But you guys, my name, anyway, I am somebody who does a lot of these live streams. I also work with a lot of the merchants. You guys, I give a lot of, we're chatting on Facebook. I created a lot of the selling challenges that you guys do. The first sale challenge, for example, working on an updated version of the 100. If you guys just throwing a little plug there, you guys keep an eye out for that. Other than that, personal life, I'm a huge nerd. In case you couldn't tell from my background, this is the Millennium Falcon. That is also our wedding guest book. So we are huge nerds, and that's me. But I got to tell you, I have been doing marketing for years and years. I have built many businesses, so I'm more of an entrepreneur. I've been in actually a lot of different industries, but always marketing, when you have the key points that you need, you can basically use it for any industry. And I have sold ShineOn in my own store for quite a bit. So got a little bit of a background. I think you guys should be pretty excited because today we have a few experts, right? We've got our experts with us. So obviously, for joining us today, we have something amazing to give you at the end, okay? We are going to give you a free holiday toolkit with all sorts of amazing things. We'll get into it a little bit later. My GIF isn't working, but that's okay. We know what Oprah's doing there, and you get a gift, and you get a toolkit, and you get a toolkit. We're going to get there. But you guys, stick around to the end. We'll give you all the information you need to claim your free holiday toolkit. Before we get into that, though, if we're going to do anything and start this weekend off right, we got to do the Digital Marketer's Toast. It's just something we do here at ShineOn, but also it just gives those good selling vibes for the weekend. So, do you guys have drinks, coffee, water with you? Nice. I've got my Q4 Christmas Boston Terrier mug just to like get into the Q4 vibes. All right, you guys, let's do this. Raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, or flasks, and join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, to higher CTRs, much higher CVRs, to enabled ad accounts and big bank accounts, to upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sells, to the thing that everybody knows. The riches are in the niches, but also your email flows.
Cheers.
Ready? Drink.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Oh my gosh. Oh, the tinglies. There's somebody out there I know that's just getting cha-chings. Cha-chings. They heard it. They heard the Digital Marketer's Toast. They're feeling the good vibes. They're getting ready for Q4. They're testing their winning products right now. And they just heard their first cha-ching that is going to just set them off on the best Q4 journey ever. I just know it. I just know you're out there. All right, you guys. Drop some hearts in the comments if you are ready. Joe, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Elle, you ready?
Yes, I'm very ready.
All right, you guys, let's get into it. Let's do it.
Okay, so we got the very first question. So during this webinar, we are going to answer some certain typical question of Q4 that you may have. So each of us will discuss these questions for you guys. So let's get into the very first question. So it is about the types of personalized products or offers that proven to convert best during the holiday season. So from the data of Teeinblue last year, there are the top 3 in my list right now. They are ornaments, mugs, and socks. So ornaments are like the biggest holiday winner. There are so many types, materials and shapes of the ornaments that I've seen so really well last year. There are in the shapes, there are in circle or the heart shape or the Benelux. For the material, I see ceramic, acrylic ornaments also performed really well, and then also wooden ornaments performed really great. And actually, from our data, there are about 300K of orders from ornaments that have been generated in Q4 last year from our sellers. So that is huge. That is huge, guys. So about the mugs, that mugs are like the OG product. It is like a classic gift. It's sold really well during every season. So it makes sense that it performed really well in Q4, right? And the personalization that put on the mugs and the ornaments are quite the same. I've seen that our sellers putting custom clip arts of families sitting next to each other, and then some sort of short messages, and then the custom names of their family members. Also, there are a new trend of personalization that has been added last year is the name of the family members that is put in the crossword style. This
Oh
the
yeah.
Scrabble. Yeah.
Yeah, the Scrabble style for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, the ornaments are pretty awesome. I've actually seen
Mhm.
quite a few people take the ornaments and create evergreen designs from them.
Mhm.
Some folks are even doing like a stained glass kind of
Yes.
thing with
Yes.
them. That is very cool. And like such a cool idea to use that all year round. Great margins on those, fast turnaround
Mhm.
as well. And obviously it's Q4, it's the holidays. Like, of course you're going to have ornaments, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think there's a
Exactly.
lot of like family units that really love
Mhm.
to have their ornaments every year. They get their like annual family
Mhm.
custom Christmas ornament or holiday ornament. And I think that there's a huge market for that,
Yep.
which is
Yeah.
awesome.
And I think that the reason that ornaments sold pretty well, like not just last year, but like for every season, for every holiday season, is that the customers like tend to buy it in bundle. Like they not just buy one ornament, but like in a pack of 5 or pack of 10 to decorate the tree, the Christmas tree. Like it is huge, so they buy a lot of ornaments, right?
I'll jump in. One thing that I'll say, just completely unrelated to like products, right? Like, because
Mhm.
obviously there's hundreds and hundreds of different product options out there. I would say if anybody here is like trying to figure out like this Q4, what am I going to do with the ornaments, or what am I going to do with the socks, or whatever other product it is, always try to think of a gift, right? Like the item should be something that you're positioning as a gift where someone can buy it for someone, right? Which means that you're targeting a niche with your design and then allowing them to personalize something on it. One thing that I saw as a major trend last year was products for kids, right? Where you're
Mhm.
making designs based on specific niches that parents or aunts and uncles and grandparents are then buying with like the kid's name personalized on it.
Mhm.
Obviously, choosing niches that the kids like, whether it's sports or dance or video games or whatever other things that kids might be into, allowing people to personalize a design like that could be a great way this holiday season to have some success.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's a lot to be said in terms of offers for bundles.
Mhm.
Like bundling gifts during the holiday season can really do great things for your average order value. And honestly, there's a lot of times too where if you are kind of with your upsells afterwards, pairing similar products, you can create a bundle essentially that way without creating a completely separate listing that's a bundle. And people end up buying more and more, especially if they do have kids. Usually it'll be more than one, or grandkids, right? They'll usually have more than one. So you're looking at some increased sales there for sure. I think there's also a lot to be said for holiday discounts. Offering a holiday discount is a great way to, even if you've baked in the cost of that discount, but you're offering the discount to them, that is a great way to get people to purchase anyway, just holiday discounts. And like last minute shipping, priority shipping, right? For those last minute buyers, the ones who are showing up, those convert really well. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, it looks like we got a sale. First sale with a personalized product. Get it, Julian?
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yes, Julian. This is what we're here for. Claps and snaps, dude. That's awesome. Well done. Well done. Let's keep moving. All right, you guys. So what ShineOn products historically perform best during Q4? So I can give you guys a little bit of insight in here, just a little bit. I may or may not know a little bit about these sales per se. Um, Obviously, the heavy hitters like jewelry is a huge thing, huge perceived value, great margins on it. I will say things like engraved jewelry, when we're talking about some of the religious angles that are taken during holidays, the engraved crosses do really well. The ornaments and obviously the acrylics give you a lot of flexibility in terms of designs versus like the Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
It just started. Thank you for bearing with me, you guys, that it is pouring outside and
no.
it just turned pitch black and there's just so much lightning. Okay.
Oh no.
Whew. All right.
I hope you're okay.
The aliens got me, somebody said. I promise. I'm in St. Pete. I'm in Florida, and you guys know we got storms here. But hey, if that happens again, you guys can you have access to the deck too. I got you. So anyway, about the Q4 products. So one of the things that I did add in this holiday selling guide for you guys are the top 10 specific products that sold last Q4 more than anything else. So you will have access to those when you download the free selling guide that I'm going to give you. Oh, did I just give a hint into what part of the toolkit is? I might have. It's okay. Just ignore it. How about for you guys?
I want to say that this is actually one of my answers for later, but I'll kind of hint at it now. I think a lot of times when I'm thinking through ShineOn's catalog, or even when I'm just working with someone who's utilizing ShineOn's catalog, the first move is to always move towards the jewelry items, and there is a major growth happening within the world of home decor right now. It is the fastest growing print-on-demand product category. There's some new research that I've been showcasing on my YouTube channel. Home decor as a product category is growing at like 28% each year. That was especially true last year. Home decor is what I was selling. And I would say if anybody here is looking for a way, I don't want to say to pivot away from what obviously has worked in the past, but just to add more things to their store, it would certainly be in the home decor realm. Everything from blankets within ShineOn's catalog are amazing. Some of the different mats, whether it's doormats or yoga mats or desk mats, are also great. There's also a good amount of wall art within ShineOn's catalog as well. Those products for me have always been like sleeper ones, where it's one that, you know, maybe you don't anticipate it to be an amazing one, but then it is. And I would advise anybody here to sort of have a little bit of a, I don't want to say an open mind, because I don't think anybody here has a closed mind, but almost like, yeah, like have like an open mind to some of those things as well, because they performed well in the past for me.
Yeah. The blankets are killer.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually don't have much to add on your guys' ideas, but when talking about ShineOn products, to me, you guys did amazing job on the mockups, and the ShineOn mockups, like very like realistic and ready to use for our users. So like a clap for you guys about that. And actually the acrylic ones, I see our sellers like sold pretty well that product, not just in Q4, but also in Mother's Day and Father's Day also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
This is what I was alluding to. Do you have any new product trend predictions for this Q4? Like I said, on my YouTube channel, there's been some recent research that was published for 2025 on print on demand. One really cool stat from that research, really quick too, is that they're predicting that by the year 2034, print on demand as an industry will generate over $100 billion in revenue. To put that in perspective, we're at around 10 billion right now. And so if you're doubting the future of POD or growth potential, even if only half of that research proves to be true, we're still talking about a 5 times growth over the next 10 years or so. And so one of the things that I mentioned in the previous question was around the home decor space. Everything from the blankets, from the pillows, to the things for the kitchen, for the walls, for the floors, for the desks. I think all of that stuff is going to continue to be something that people are buying, especially when it comes to personalization. People want to decorate their space in their house, whether it's a niche based on a kitchen, whether it's a niche based on a game room or a kid's room. There is decor products that we can sell as print-on-demand sellers that will fill that gap. And I would say that's a trend that I think is going to continue to grow, not just in Q4, but all year long. And I would say definitely, click into ShineOn's home decor tab, their home and living tab, and see what's in there.
Yeah. An amazing thing that I noticed last year from our sellers is when I see like a slight decline from the ornaments order, there is a like a new trend of emerging trend of posters, the orders of poster like increasing. Like so the year end of last year, the orders declined, and then posters sold like truly amazing. Like a lot of sellers sold poster and canvas in the beginning of this year. And I also truly agree with you, Joe. Home decor, amazing niche. And from my point of view and from my research from like the top sellers in the market, and also what our sellers are setting in our like dashboard, I see that there will be new shapes for the ornaments, not just circle, not just heart, but there are like some kind of custom shape for the ornaments, like based on the customer upload photo or some like certain clip arts of the family members, something like that. And also from what like historical data from the summer sales, I see that there are new products that will continue to like sell pretty well this Q4 is the platter. You know, ShineOn also like just released the platter earlier in the summer, right? So I also see that a lot of Teeinblue sellers like sold the platter really well, and they are setting up new campaigns for these in Q4. And another product that I want to mention is the wine glass. They are putting like custom clip arts of family members on those wine glass and some kind of quotes about drinking wine in holiday season. Those are amazing.
Nobody drinks during the holidays. It's not like they have to, party or like forget that they're hanging around their relatives. Why would you drink during the holidays? That's crazy.
There's a couple people in the comments that are asking about the platter. So if you guys, again, if you go into that home and living category, ShineOn actually has glass plates and glass platters, like serving platters.
It's not glass.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's the decoware.
Looks like glass.
Yeah,
it's what?
It's decoware. So it's kind of like the corral. So it it's one of those. I think when I showed it to, I tend to be a bit of a butterfingers, and so I like absolutely dropped them all on the floor as one would occasionally, and they all were totally fine. They're like microwave safe, dishwasher safe, great for kids. Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that platter. So check it out, you guys. There's a platter, what is it? A platter, a plate, and a bowl, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely an awesome bundle. I mean, I've seen people sell it with like the little kid names and like like a Christmas tree or like a Hanukkah or like any of those things for Thanksgiving. Great like Thanksgiving plates, right? Where it just matches and maybe everybody gets their own special plate, which is really cute. Santa's Christmas cookies.
Yes.
Like why, have a plate that's really cute. That's like, insert your kid's name and their Christmas cookies and the date, right? Or the year. And then you've got a beautiful keepsake for like their first Christmas or 10th Christmas or whatever. But yeah, like the plates are a great idea for sure.
You could even do the platters as like a Halloween candy bowl or something.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, like I've also seen some folks, especially for like kids that are first learning, they're sort of like the food pyramid. And so it's like got little sections for like how much space for your veggies, how much space for your meat, how much space for your like, potatoes or whatever. Yeah. Really cute. And like, great for grandma's house. But I am absolutely on board with the two of you. I agree. The biggest trend that I'm seeing so far this year is home decor. I think a lot of people are looking to really up their own space. And like the blankets, man, the blankets are so, I'll go into the blankets a little bit later, but I am like obsessed with the blankets for sure. But yeah, holiday, you guys, home decor is what we're predicting is going to be the big product trend for this year for sure.
Yeah, the next question. How do you make your personalization feel emotional and gift worthy for the holidays? So it means that your product needs to deliver some certain kind of emotion or message to your customers, right? So you need to add some, I think, like some quotes on your product, like a gift from daughter to mother, love you forever mom, or something like that, or like our first Christmas together, something like trigger emotion to your customers. Or thinking of like the memorial niche, what they trigger emotion a lot. And I also have a new idea that you can get into your product is insert a QR code, and when your customers scan that code, it will link to a family photo or a like sort of messages or a favorite song that your family members love. So that is like kind of new idea that you can put on your product.
That's a
And
fun
remember,
one.
yeah, and
QR code.
remember that you need to like show what your customers are like buying and or personalizing. Like when they are putting on a custom photo, you need to show your customer that photo is uploaded on your product. So remember to put on a live preview on your product.
Really interesting about the QR code because it's not exactly like a pretty looking thing. You know, it's
Yeah.
not exactly like a nice design thing. It's more like it's part of telling the story. So there are a couple of interesting things, like Canva has a free QR code generator
Yes.
that actually you can create certain shapes within it, which is really nice. And that elevates your QR code a little bit if you are going to go that route. I think if I was going to do that, I'd probably just put Rick Astley, never gonna give you up, and just Rick roll everybody with my QR code.
Yeah.
Those tend to be the types of gifts from me for sure.
Yeah, actually, I see that the QR code like normally pairs with the personalized song products. So, and an interesting thing is you can easily generate the QR code and link to whatever links you like in Teeinblue. You can do that with Teeinblue.
Which is awesome.
I would say that if you're trying to make something feel emotional, the best way to do that is by really focusing on a very strong niche. In a lot of cases, people tend to focus on what I call like maybe lighter niches, like to my mom, to my daughter, things like that. But I think that you can really bring emotion into it if you double down on some sort of a passion or an identity that a mom, a daughter, a dad, a son, a grandma may have. So if you're doing a lot of like to my daughter stuff and you've identified a lot of phrases that work really well with those types of, niches, the daughter niche, right? You could also start creating a bunch of variants where it's like to my daughter, but there's like a police vibe to the design where the dad buying the product is a police officer and giving it to his daughter. Or you could do the same thing with the military or any sport that the kid might play, or anything about, maybe they go fishing together a lot, right? So the design has a fishing theme to it or hunting theme to it or whatever it is, right? And same thing with couples, right? Let's say that there's a couple that loves to go and run marathons together, right? And so you've got some designs or you got some phrases that are doing really well with couples, and it's just like to my husband, to my wife, generic in that sense. But then you redo a couple of different designs where it's, to my running partner, to my biking partner, to my camping partner, right? Like doubling down that way, I think is truly how you make it an emotional gift, but also an impulse buy gift, right? If we're talking about social media and people scrolling through, and pretty much everybody on social media is either going to be a son, a daughter, a husband, or a wife, right? It's pretty much impossible to exist without being one of those four things. If you're not married, you're definitely a son or a daughter, right? But my point is, if you're seeing all day long to my daughter, to my son, to my wife, to my husband, in some cases, people tune that out, right? But all of a sudden something comes across your feed where it's like to my fishing partner for life, and you're someone that goes fishing with your spouse all the time, or you're in the military and it says to my daughter and there's a military themed design for your daughter. That becomes an impulse buy. And so I think if you're trying to make something way more emotional and gift worthy for the holidays, yes, the quotes are important, but doubling down on a niche is probably the thing that is going to get the people that are just going to click the like button to click the buy button instead. That's my take.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say, for anybody who is advertising to military and veterans, just be aware that there are certain guidelines and rules in order to advertise to that niche. But anytime that you are making something a little bit more focused, like you said, the running partner, the fishing partner, things like that. Remember, your ads are your ad campaigns are going to the person who is buying it for the other person. So anytime that you are doing that, if you're, when you are saying, let's say, to a fishing partner, just make sure that within your audience, you are including fishing, right, as something, because you know that when you're targeting those specific people. I will say there's also things like gift wrap, or gift wrap my order with personalized, little messages that if you're far away and you want to send somebody a really nice gift, it's a great way. They open the box and it's already wrapped and it already has a nice personalized gift message from you. Like, that's a really good way to do it. I will also say that, like, telling a story with your product can help here as well and give more of that emotional kind of aspect. And everyone kind of has those stories of like the warmth of the seasons, right? Or like the joy of Halloween. I'm obsessed with Halloween. I shouldn't even mention. I've like tried to avoid it because I just don't want to like verbal vomit all sorts of Halloween ideas. But yeah, and like Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving, the whole concept of Thanksgiving is a story, basically, right? It's this like getting together with your family around the table and enjoying a warm meal together. It's a beautiful experience. So thinking about that when you are going along these lines, like that would definitely work to get a little more emotional.
Yeah, Tammy, when you mentioned about the message card, I think that this is also like an opportunity for the sellers to increase their revenue, because when you offer like a custom message card, actually you can like charge an extra add-on charge for those custom message card, because it's like a premium like service that you offer to your customers. So it's still like deliver emotion to the buyers, the recipient, but still like increase your sales.
Yeah, absolutely. And oftentimes too, like the cost of the product, if it's a really good product, people will pay anything for it.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And so when you're talking about something like gift wrap and you want to make some of those last minute sales towards the holidays, bake in the cost of the gift wrap to your base price and then say that you add free gift wrap, right? Free gift wrapping for any order. Done, right? So consider things like that where you're baking in a little bit of that cost to cover yourself, and then offering free gift wrap will absolutely work for this for sure. Melissa is asking, what guidelines do we need to be aware of if promoting to the military? So military, medical staff, there are a few different things, especially like the post-COVID era, where advertising rules on Facebook, for example, Meta, have been a little bit more specific on like copyright and also like abuse of the, I don't know how else to say it, like of the audience, if that makes sense. It's a little bit, they're built in for protections primarily. I don't know if you guys have a little bit more you want to share with that, but.
Yeah, so definitely what someone else in the comments said as well, logos, right? Like you couldn't use like the Air Force logo, for example, in your designs. Same thing with like the Army or the Marines. You couldn't use like their actual logos or even their slogans, right? So all of these branches of the U.S. military have logos and slogans. Those are all registered trademarks. And so you can't use those. You could certainly focus on using words like veteran. You could also use colors, right? So you can make a design that is black and gold and has the word veteran on it, that would definitely, not utilize, things that are trademarked. What Tammy's talking about, I believe, is like how Facebook has removed certain interests from targetable options. And so you used to just be able to target United States Army or United States Marines or Navy. There's a lot of other things as well that Facebook has limited. They basically don't allow you to target based on the military. They've removed things based on religious affiliations as well, and many other things. One of the things, though, to keep in mind is that with a lot of the AI advances that Facebook has made, or Meta, I think forever I'm probably still going to call it Facebook over Meta, to be honest, but because I always forget. One of the things that they've really made a lot of strides with is their broad targeting, right? Like using advantage audiences, not plugging in an interest, and using your ad creative and then what you're typing in your primary text box to target the types of people that you are trying to target. There's a couple of people that I am currently working with that are in this space, this first responder space. I won't say much more because I don't want to like completely reveal what they're doing, but they're absolutely crushing it. I send mugs to people when they hit different sales milestones on their stores, and both of these people are frequent recipients of these mugs. And it's still possible, right? Facebook has removed some of the targeting options that you can just directly target some of those folks, but you can run broad targeting audiences and do pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's keep going. All right, so what is the most effective way to show personalization in ads? All right, so obviously, with holiday stuff, if your product is geared towards the holiday, you want to do a little bit of holiday themed ads. But I will say one of my favorite ways to show personalization in ads is I actually usually create a GIF. So what I'll do is I'll take the mock-up of the product, and let's say it's a to my insert whatever, and it's from grandparents, right? From grandma, grandpa. But they can change the names to Grammy, Grandpa, Abba, and Ama. They can change the names. And so I'll take the same mock-up and change the names, take those images, I'll put them into Canva, and I'll create a GIF where it shows the product itself, but the names are changing.
Yep.
And the whole idea is that it's showing you that you can put your own name. So that's just like a very specific way to show some of that personalization, the options of personalization is this GIF. Plus, for me, and now granted, Meta, with the AI stuff too, it is getting so much more complicated, but for your own niche, determining whether or not a static versus a moving image will work for you. I tend to find for my audience that the moving images work a lot better they move a little bit more than the static ones. So that's I do like a quick little GIF just showing them the personalization. What about you guys?
I would say you hit the nail on the head with the GIF. A really simple way, if anybody doesn't know how to use Canva, is right inside of Facebook. You can use their slideshow feature where you could create like 5 different mockups with different names on them and put them in Facebook Slideshow Maker, change it to a 1-second duration. And then every 1 second, it's just going to change that mockup that you've got in there displaying. I think the big thing, though, is make sure to do one of those options, either what Tammy's saying or what I'm saying, so that way people can see an example of the custom text. Now, the worst thing you could do would be to write on your design, like enter any name or something, or custom text here. Like actually show an example, right? If it's something that says like the Wilson family, like where they can put their family name there, like actually show examples of that. Don't just write your family name here, right? Because if you're doing that, then the customer can't really envision what you're trying to accomplish. I've also sold a lot of products where it's not necessarily a name or a last name, but someone's like putting the name of their farm on the product. So it might say like Rolling Hills Farm, right? And so instead of writing like custom text here or any text here, like actually show that. Right, or maybe it's maybe it's someone's beach house or something that they're buying. It's just a doormat, but you're going to write like house by the sea or something like that. Like you're going to actually put an example there. I think that's the key. That's the most effective way, is to actually show an example rather than just writing custom name or custom text here or something like that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. But I want to add one more ideas that I think that it is quite interesting. So besides like showing instructions on how to do the personalization on the product, I think it is a good idea to add the UGC on the ads, like the real video of your customer received that product. like how emotional when they receive that product, you can put in the ad. So like it kind of like convince other customers to buy your products, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, somebody's calling you out. Somebody's got the phone notifications going off. Somebody's dinging.
Oh,
On the
I turn
screen,
it
it could
off.
be me.
It might be you, Joe.
Could
Might
be
be
me,
you.
it's because I don't have my AirPods and the volume's coming out of the computer and I'm getting text messages and it's dinging on my computer, but I can't turn the volume off. And as good as I am with technology, I don't know how to make it stop. I just turned my phone on Do Not Disturb, and so maybe that will.
There we go. Shark is just calling you out, man. She says, thanks, no worries. It's so funny. Ooh, Tal. Okay, Tal says screencast of how you add personalization on your phone. So that's actually very cool because you can record the video, on your mobile phone of you actually entering a personalization into the space on the product page and using that as an ad. Tal, that is a great idea. And, I think for all of these, we're showing that you are able to personalize it. You're absolutely right, Joe. The like your name here, right? Or like customize with your name in that space where the name should be really doesn't convert. Like it really doesn't. Just getting that, it's like it feels more personal to see the Citrus Family Farm or whatever, right? That's like a lot more, feels more relatable than like your name here, enter. So, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Oh, Julian says it's because they keep looking at their phone when they hear your phone. That's
My
so
apologies.
funny.
My apologies.
That is hilarious. Oh, somebody says, okay, CapCut has sample templates for this exact purpose. That is good to know. And you guys, CapCut is free and it has both desktop and mobile options. So you can get it as a mobile app, or that's a desktop task. Editing videos, desktop task. I'm a millennial. I have my desktop tasks and my phone tasks, right? So yeah, that is, those are great. I mean, the screencasting, the CapCut, I think we've got a lot of good stuff here for sure. Let's keep going.
All right, next question here. How should I set up my personalization workflows to avoid mistakes and delays during Q4 spikes? For me, this means just having a consistent routine. I'm someone who's done a lot of manual personalization where you're actually using like ShineOn's artwork swapper, for example, and changing text and things like that. I would say that you need to have a good routine. You need to do the same thing at the same time each day. And you need to go in order of you need to go in the order with your orders, the ones that have been submitted the farthest in the past. And I don't know if that came out correctly, but you want to start with the old orders first, right? The second thing I would say is this is just like a simple tip. It took me a long time to start doing this, but when you are doing anything with manual personalization, make sure that when you are saving files, that you have a dedicated folder where every personalized design for that specific SKU on your store is going into, and that you also are naming the file, the order number from your store. And then that way you can track it in two ways, right? You have specific folders for each SKU on your store, but then you also have all of your files named the same as the order number. So if there's ever an issue, you can just literally use your computer search and search for it. For a very long time, I had hundreds and hundreds of design files on my computer, and it was a complete mess with no organization. Things were just titled random things. And for some of you, you might be laughing and saying, of course, Joe, I name my orders, they're filed, or I name my files their order numbers. But if you're not doing that, make sure to do so.
Yeah, that's a big, especially when you're just getting started too, and you just start making your first sort of like 10 sales, and you're kind of like, oh, it's no big deal.
Yep.
And then as you start scaling, you're like, oh my God. Absolutely. I would say, one of my favorite things for this would be automation, right? So like, yes, artwork swapper, absolutely, especially if you are doing some of those, like products that might require like a couple of different personalizations. Like you want to make sure that you're giving, if you're going to do it manually, you want to make sure you give yourself enough time every day to address those, because the faster you get your order in, the faster your client your buyer gets the order, right? And during the holidays, that timeliness is really important, because people are watching. They are watching from the second they place that order to when it arrives. They are watching every single hour, basically, like, when does it get there? When does it get there? Because it's important during this time of year. So any kind of automation, like, I think Teeinblue, obviously, great option for automation for sure. There is, you've also got the option, like we have in ShineOn, we have message card options where they will bake in the personalization for you. Same with like the name necklaces. And that stuff just makes your workflows a lot easier. Obviously, organization is key, but then again, like making sure that you're setting some realistic deadlines and that your folks know the deadlines. Because that's the other part of this is your workflows, especially during the busiest time of year, being upfront with them about the exact time when that is going to end is really important, and also gives you that window to really push the priority shipping for those last minute people who haven't purchased anything and are suddenly like, oh crap, it's next week, for sure.
Yeah. So to me, it is like the automation is correct. You guys can like easily do that with Teeinblue, as Tammy said. We have like auto generate print file that can be directly print to like ShineOn system. From other ideas that that I see is you should also frequently like check update with your providers, like the cutoff dates that Tammy just mentioned. And there are also other things that you need to like focus on is you need to set a clear guidelines to your customers. So the clear personalization on your product, like what they need to do on your product, you need to set a clear guidelines on that. So the video on the ads is one thing, but you need to set like some kind of validation on the personalization form, like character limits, like how many characters do they need to put on that text box, or you don't support emojis or something like that. Or for the upload photo feature, you should add some like minimum size for the photo. And also you should turn on the required field for each like personalization layer. So so that is my idea.
I love it. I love it. And you guys know, I mean, everyone out there understands. So like, yes, your base imagery and your base artwork and your base product can absolutely sell. However, offering personalization generally gives you like a 20 to 30% greater chance of making a sale, right? It's more individual and custom. And I mean, we're print on demand. Let's go. Make it personal. Very easy.
Okay, next question. What are the most common mistakes sellers make when selling personalized product during Q4? I must say they start too late. So this is the perfect time for you to start preparing for your Q4 campaigns. Like you should start researching, testing your product from now. And then you will find like winning products for your Q4 in like next month to scale it. And then the next thing that I just mentioned is scale too late. When you start too late and then you scale too late. So the thing that some of our sellers also facing is like they focus too much on testing, on finding like testing new the winning products, but they don't like define which perfect one to scale it into other campaigns and products. So those are the things that I think the most common mistakes. But there are also other minor things that are like no preview for the customer, so they don't see anything on the mockup, like just static mockups, or over customizing. Like there are a lot of like fields for personalization that the customer don't know where to start. So that is like confuse your customer and they will just like go out of your product. So that's my idea.
I've got a couple. I think the first one is just completely overcomplicating personalization. You want to create simple, personalized designs. You want it to be an easy thing for your customer to buy. I have seen many times people try to come up with all of these really cool ideas, but they're obviously they're honestly very complicated. And what I mean by that is they're asking the customer to come up with a quote on their own or something. To add to the design. You want to stick to things that customers can easily look at and say, okay, a name's going to go here, that's easy. A date's going to go here, that's easy. A location's going to go here, that's easy, right? We also don't want to, like, if you're doing anything with photos, don't overcomplicate it with making the customer choose like 4 or 5 or 6 different photos to add to the design. Unless it's really easy, like let's say it's something for a dog or a cat, and it's just easy for them to plug those in. But if it's like, our life together, right, and it's like a couple's design, like don't make someone choose 6 photos with their spouse to include on your design, because what's going to happen is they're going to spend 20 minutes doing it, and then they're going to get distracted and they're going to leave your website, right? Keep it simple. Don't do too many different things. The second mistake I would say is don't rely only on personalization to sell your design. You still need to make a good design. It still needs to look good. It still needs to have some aesthetic details to it, whether it's colors, vectors, clip art, whatever. You're not just because you personalize it doesn't mean people are automatically going to love you and buy it. It still has to be nice, right? So take, definitely personalized designs, but you still need to make something that looks good. Those would be 2 mistakes that I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think too, there's something to be said for testing your own store. I think there's a lot of people too who make setups and then they don't go through the checkout themselves, and then they don't even realize that there's a bunch of buyers who are trying to purchase, and there's some blocker or error or something missing that you could have noticed if you had just run through the system yourself, right? Now, for the most part on Shopify, they're going to take care of your cart page for you. They're going to take care of a lot of the, like obviously you set up your payment processing, but like with the Shopify store or whatever, it's like they've got that kind of baked in. However, maybe the personalizations aren't coming through, right? And so you want to make sure that all of that is working smoothly before you run ads. And I cannot stress that enough. Run through the product process to make sure that it works before you throw any money into advertising, because you will just be dumping all of your cash into the garbage if your product page doesn't work, right? So I think that is a big one for sure that I see. I will also say I see sometimes, people are very into like shortest distance from point A to point B is a straight line, right? And the less things that they have to go through in order to get to from point A to point B, the more likely you are to make a sale. People are into getting things easy, quickly, right? And so if you are adding all sorts of extra steps or like trying to add like multiple upsells, like, oh my gosh, I've gone to a page before where somebody made me go through like 5 pages of upsells and downsells, and I was like, I don't even want to buy this anymore. Like, this is so obnoxious. Or like, what is it? Oh, Vistaprint does this too, right? Anytime, like, God, I haven't ordered from Vistaprint in a year, so I don't know if they've changed it. Sorry, Vistaprint, if you have. But honestly, that was one of the most obnoxious checkout things I've ever gone through, because it was like, but also this full page of products that you could add, and also this full page. And I'm like, at what point are we just dropping off, right? And so adding anything superfluous, right? Anything extra that doesn't really need to be there and most likely isn't going to convert, like, get rid of it. Make the process simple. Make it simple. You like it simple, they like it simple. Right?
Exactly.
So for sure. That is a big one that I see too, is people just like overcomplicating the checkout process. Like, confusion, the second they're confused, they're out. They're out, you guys, for sure.
Exactly.
All right, let's keep going. How do you manage customer expectations and reduce returns during this intense season? So at ShineOn, we don't accept returns. So that automatically does good things. But in all seriousness, though, we do free remakes, right? So if there is a real issue on an order, like let's say there's a like the buyer, when it got to them, it was the wrong name or something like that, like free remakes, absolutely, anytime that there is a mistake, right? However, because it is the holiday season, you also have the fact that people will purchase gifts before whatever the holiday is, but you won't know that there's an issue until that holiday passes, because that's when the gift is being opened, right? And so something to just be mindful of that is to be prepared for the post-holiday customer service.
Yes.
Because you will most likely get people who are coming in. I'd say it's probably like, I don't know, probably 10 to 20% of folks that are going to reach out to you after, if you generally sell a lot during the holidays, you're going to get roughly that amount of folks who are reaching out to you after the holiday to talk about the order that they placed, whether it was in October for December. You won't know until the week after Christmas or whatever, right? Because they've made those plans. So just be mindful of that. And I think one of the best things you can do in your customer service that makes people less likely to do that and less likely to be frustrated with holiday shipping is to say things like, first of all, be super friendly in your customer service, right? Super friendly, make yourself approachable. People love that. But also be very upfront with the fact that it is the holidays, right? And so there are a lot of things that are out of your control. For example, if a blizzard comes to the Northeast and UPS can't deliver for 5 days, that is not your fault. That is not the buyer's fault. That is literally what we call a force majeure. It's something that is just, it occurred. You will most likely still have to deal with a little bit of the blowback. So being nice and friendly and timely, and then also from that initial order being like, by the way, it's the holidays, like, please let us know if you have any issues with shipping. You're just giving them the heads up that shipping might be a little funky because it's the holidays. You're kind of covering your butt a little bit with that, but also you're letting them know that, like, you'll make it right if something is really, truly wrong.
Yeah, and I think that to prevent the issues on the design, like you said, the seller needs to, like I say, they put on the live preview so the customer knows exactly what their personalization looks like on the store. And then you should also add like an email confirmation after they purchase. Like the email should add the actual design that they have checked out. So those will like help you confirm with your customers about the final product that they just purchased. So that will prevent the issues on the orders. And Tammy just like mentioned a great way to handle the issues after the purchase. And I also want to add one more thing that I mentioned earlier is to clarify the cutoff date with your provider. So the shipping, like, you don't mess with the shipping dates.
Yeah, you guys nailed it. I don't have much to add, but I can give like an example return policy script that I use. Basically, what I always try to do is have a very similar return policy to what Tammy said ShineOn has, where they don't accept returns unless the item is basically damaged or defective. And in that case, it's not even really a return, it's a replacement or a refund. And so that's the policy that I implement. And the way that I spin it is more of a positive, right? I come up with some sort of a satisfaction guarantee, right? I don't say something like, beware, no returns accepted unless item is damaged, right? I'll say something more like, our really happy promise or something like that. We're going to give you great service, we're going to give you fast shipping, and we guarantee the quality of your item. And what you can do is you can actually make a page on your store where you say something like, we are a made-to-order business, which means we have a production partner that we partner with when you place your order. We do this so we can offer amazing products at low prices and also keep waste low. For this reason, we want to guarantee the quality of your item. If it arrives with a damage or a defect, contact us for a no questions asked refund or replacements. Because we are a made-to-order business, returns and replacements are only offered on damaged goods, period, right? And that's your way of celebrating your made-to-order businessness. That's your way of celebrating your quality guarantee without scaring people. And if anybody ever reaches out and says, hey, I got this item, I just don't want it anymore, can I return it? You can say something like, we have a real happy promise. This guarantees the quality of your item. Since your item did not arrive with a defect, unfortunately, it does not qualify. We are a made-to-order business. Basically give them the bad news in a nice way. And what I always do is I always will include some sort of a discount on a future order, right? If someone contacts you and they just want to return the item, write back and tell them no in a nice way, but then say, hey, like if you ever want to order again, like here's a 25% off discount code, right? You can use it on any orders that you ever place or something like that. And of course, there's always going to be people that when you tell them no, they're going to write back to you, right? They're going to continue to harass you, and you're going to have to make that decision, right? Is this person worth, arguing with, or do I just want to refund them and move on, right? And in some cases, I've done both, right? And so I would say making sure that you have a strong policy in place, that you build a nice page on your store that you can refer them back to if they missed it the first time is key to minimize some of these issues, especially during the holiday season.
Yeah, for sure. And I think also, as Elle was pointing out with the deadline dates for a lot of the providers, one of the things that you can also do is you can say things on the product page like might not make it for X holiday, but but it might, kind of messaging where it's sort of like might not make it, but it also could, right? And so you're kind of letting them know right off the bat that let's say it's like the day of cutoff, right? Yep. And you're just kind of like, look, we absolutely know that this time of year is a little bit hectic. We understand you're ordering this last minute. We will try our best to get it to your destination in time, but it's a great way to just let them know, like, might not make it, but you can still order it. And then that way too, it gives them the expectation that if it doesn't actually make it for the particular holiday, that they will most likely get it a little bit later, and that they understand that right off the bat, right?
One unique way you can do that, instead of just saying like it might make it or something like that, run a sale on your store and tell people to use code cutoff because we're at our order cutoff, and you can get an additional 15% off because it might not make it for Christmas or something like that. That's just a unique way to make it more fun and also save people some money.
That's a great idea. Somebody says that won't pass Google merchant validation. I actually don't use Google, so I'm not sure. I'm assuming that was about the
maybe the return policy. I don't know. It's what I've used since 2016. I don't sell anything with Google Merchant. If you're talking about like Google Ads or something, it's out of my purview. I'd be not argumentative, but I'd be curious which part specifically would violate Google merchant validation, because technically in the United States we can have any return policy we want, And so I'm curious which part specifically would violate it. But again, it's out of my purview. I don't really know, so I could be completely wrong, and it could not pass it. But
I don't know. I don't generally advertise on Google, so I unfortunately can't give too much insight into that at all. But I think we really have just given some good ideas on how to manage some of these customers, right? Let's keep going.
All right. If you had to launch just one new personalized product for Q4 today, what would it be, and what would the campaign look like? So when I was thinking about this question, where my mind went was to come up with a print-on-demand store idea and talk through it. It's an idea that I think could do really, really well in Q4, but it also is something that you could sell all year long. The name of the store would be mancavemats.com or something like that. I don't know if that's available, but you could do something similar, right? Where the whole idea is to create man cave personalized decor. And man cave mats, you could start with doormats and desk mats from ShineOn, where when you walk into someone's man cave or a finished basement, there's a doormat there. And think of all of the different niches that you could make designs for, where it says like Joe's Man Cave, and there's a hunting or a fishing or a video game or a poker or blackjack theme on there. or even something to do with cars and trucks, right? Where there's like a garage theme on there. mancavemats.com. I would create a bunch of personalized doormats, and I'd potentially even get into some wall art. ShineOn obviously has those options as well, canvases and some of the metal prints as well. And you could create a really cool store where people could deck out their man cave, and you could target lots of different niches that people could buy for a man in their life as a gift.
I love that. And you know what's great about that too is there are a lot of folks that are proud of their spaces like that, and you could alternatively target them as well, right?
Yep.
Buying for
Oh yeah,
themselves.
sure, for sure. 100%. You'd probably have more sales from people buying it for themselves than as a gift. No.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with our blankets, woven blankets. In case you guys haven't been to any of my other live streams, I have 6 of our woven blankets because of all the different sizes and options and printing and things like that. And so I have a ton of the blankets, and I have to say, we use them every day. These blankets are warm, they're well made, and my favorite part about the blankets is the margin. The margin is fantastic. For how high quality and how heavyweight they are, the margin is absurd. And so my niche in particular, I'm 2 grandchildren. So I, generally geared towards grandparents and the agelessness kind of aspect, the fact it's something that will be treasured for a lifetime. A lot of grandparents that I have found in my particular niche are specifically thinking of things that could be legacy items, right? If they go, what are the things that their grandkids are going to keep with them? And the blankets are so high quality that has been almost like it's been a no-brainer, to be perfectly honest. Like what I would do specifically for the holidays would be mostly geared towards the warmth, the family aspect, and the timelessness of the product itself. So that's what I would do. In fact, I might just do that. In fact, I probably will still do that. So
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
To me, since the ornaments perform really well, I will go with the ornaments. Tammy, if you go to the next slide, you guys can see this is my kind of product that I would make if I have a chance. So the ornaments with your pets. It can be the upload photo of your pets, like remove background, or the custom clip arts of the cat breeds. You can see the style of the clip arts. The cat here is kind of like Pixar, like 3D style. And I also see this trend is emerging for this year holidays. So it quite like looks like realistic. So you have like the name of the cat and the image of the cat looks fantastic, and the personalization is also really simple.
Yeah, I love that. Looks like people are suggesting wall art. Looks like bar towels. Which woven blanket do you prefer? Oh, can you show one of your blankets? Yeah, sure. It might be a little small on my screen. I actually have one right here. Weird. So this is one of the blankets that we have. I'd say so I really like the artwork woven blanket. The printed woven blanket is almost exact with colors for printing for whatever your design is. The printed woven one is like that. However, it's a little bit thinner. So it's being printed directly on versus the artwork one. For example, this one is woven. And so it's got a lot of really nice textures in there. And this is something, this is one of my favorite blankets. This is my husband and I, but in we'll just say really popular animated TV show style.
Yeah, is that like a AI filter kind of thing? And I also see that emerging.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's got our pets on it and everything. So I use this all the time. And I got to tell you, like this fabric, this woven texture is so nice and it's soft. The printed one is a little bit harder, but the photo and the artwork ones are really, really nice and heavy, which is so important when you're talking about perceived value. When somebody gets something and it's heavy, it's showing a lot more quality aspect to it. So yeah, and the margins, like I said, you guys, the margins are stupid on these. I love that.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing here on my product is that you guys, for those that join this webinar, you will receive this design as a free gift from Teeinblue, and you will receive free clip arts of these cat breeds after this webinar. So stay tuned.
Love it. Love it. Let's keep going. All right. Tariffs. This is now. I understand. I need to make it very clear right now that none of us are like tax experts. However, tariffs are kind of a big deal this year in the US. It's been kind of discussion of the year for the last 8 months. How will this affect Q4? How has it already affected this year? Now, I want to just make it very clear that like what we are discussing here, we're giving our perspective to the best of our knowledge. So I want to just make that clear. So in terms of tariffs, what I have personally seen, so every single year, rising costs are inevitable. Like that is every year, right? What you purchased 10 years ago for $10 does not cost $10 today, right? Like it just doesn't. That is general inflation. That's how the economy works. So I would say it's of no surprise that like we might see some rising costs. However, domestic print on demand in terms of US-based production facilities are going to have much better margins and smaller price increases, but also better shipping. You're going to see like the de minimis thing, obviously, which is like kind of separate from tariffs, but all of these aspects, if you have US-based production, you're actually in a much safer position and most likely less affected by these tariffs. For example, ShineOn's factory, it's 30 minutes from my house. And I'm in the US, right? That from that facility, you've got journals, you've got jewelry, you've got all sorts of stuff that is being pumped out of a US-based factory. So we are not dealing with importing costs. However, that doesn't mean that you might not see something this year. I highly doubt it. I'm going to just throw that out there. I'm going to highly doubt it, especially for folks that are like US-based production. You're going to see a little bit of increase, but that's literally every year. Like that is normal. Nobody should be surprised about that. You're going to see surge pricing from your shipping carriers every year for holidays. This is not new. You guys, this is very normal. So that's what I'm kind of seeing is like, if you're working with US-based production, I would not be too concerned with tariffs for this Q4. However, I would expect slightly increased prices for surge pricing for shipping and just generalized product increase from economic inflation.
I would say that this is definitely a subject that I don't know much about. I believe it or not, as much as I do on the internet, I basically only do print on demand stuff on the internet. Other than that, I live under a rock and I don't pay attention much to anything. And whether that's a good or a bad thing, I don't know. I typically hear about things from, maybe family members telling me or something. And even then it kind of goes in one ear and out the other. But to kind of echo what Tammy said, my basic understanding is, yeah, if you're using a US-based production facility, you're likely going to be just fine and not really see any drastic changes. I would say that there could be some opportunity created here. There could be maybe this year some people who maybe in the past did create some sort of an online business and they sourced their products out of the country. Maybe those people are going to sit this one out. And that means that there's going to be less advertisers on social media, which means that costs could potentially be lower to advertise on places like Facebook and on Instagram. Because in a lot of cases, when you're running paid ads, the costs are going to be somewhat out of your control, and it's going to be based a lot on how many other advertisers there are. And there could be some people that have cold feet this year and they're sitting it out, or there could be some people that, maybe their business, went underwater because they could no longer afford it because they were using a supplier outside of the country, and they're going to sit this one out too. And so there could actually be some lower CPMs this year when it comes to marketing.
Yeah, actually, to me, I don't live in US, so I think that you guys have more experience about the tariff in the US more than me. But I totally agree with Tammy. The US-based factory, more advantages for sellers, cheaper and faster shipping. But I believe that maybe, just maybe, like providers from other countries are finding ways to like moved into the US factory. I don't know, but I have some like tips or ideas for you guys, for the sellers, to like kind of deal with the impact of the tariff. So you have to deal with the tariff, the increased price, right? So you maybe you need to increase the price, but don't increase it too much that make like a huge difference to your customers. Just step by step increase your price, or maybe like leverage the marketing thing, like sell in bundle, so like it will like save your revenue while still like introduce your customers to like buy more from you. And in terms of tariff, your customers are long for more like quality products, so you need to like really take care about the quality of your product, the provider, and the like focus on the emotion that your customer like will receive when they buy your products. So that's my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And I think diversifying, your suppliers helps,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes,
If you
exactly.
are solely working with one provider, you
Mm-hmm.
are kind of shooting yourself in the foot a little bit,
Yes.
Right.
especially because you just never know. And I think especially those of us who have been in the e-com world for a little bit, it's always a roller coaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Facebook could go away tomorrow. And I think we're all used to that flexibility. And I think that that's something, especially if you are a beginner, that is something to just be mindful of. I think a lot of folks like don't even think about that aspect. And it's something where you be temporarily devastated if a sales channel is pulled from you, but know that a new one is right around the corner and that there are many other options for you to choose from. So I think that is, especially for beginners, know that just keep going, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
always
Just keep
keep
swimming.
going. Yeah, just keep swimming, as Dory
Mm-hmm.
says. Just
Yeah.
keep swimming. Yes. All right, let's keep going.
All right, pricing strategy heading into Q4. What I would say when it comes to pricing is obviously it's going to be based heavily on what product you're selling, right? Because if you're selling ornaments, your pricing strategy is going to be very different than if you're selling woven blankets or whatever else, right? It's also going to be different whether you're doing personalization or not. And so I don't have like a blanket strategy for you, but what I thought could be useful is to give you like a unique approach to discounts, especially around the Black Friday time. This is a approach that I have used more than once. Basically, what it involves is you creating lots of different discount codes that are set to expire at different times, and you post about them on your social media channels, and you also post or have them shared on your store in unique ways. And basically, it starts the week of Thanksgiving. Monday through Wednesday, you run a pre-Thanksgiving sale, and you tell people to use code EARLY on your store to get the discount. Obviously, on Thanksgiving, you run a Thanksgiving Day only sale. Use code TURKEY, right? So if someone's coming on your store on Thursday, Thanksgiving, they see 1 day sale, use code TURKEY, right? And then obviously the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday. So you're going to have your Black Friday 1 day sale. You're going to tell people use code Friday or something like that. It's going to be on the store. It's going to be on social media. And then Saturday and Sunday is this unique gap. Friday is Black Friday. Monday is Cyber Monday, right? So Saturday and Sunday become the Thanksgiving leftover sale, right? Everybody has leftovers after Thanksgiving. And so you tell people to use code leftover on Saturday and Sunday. It's a 2-day sale. And then Monday comes and you do your Cyber Monday, use code cyber. And then if you wanted to, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you could repeat that leftover sale again. And now what you've done is you've taken a 1-day Black Friday or 2 days Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and you've stretched it into about 2 weeks through some unique discount codes and urgency. Anytime you're selling anything, you always want to have urgency and scarcity. With print on demand, we can't really have scarcity, right? Because our products are never going to run out, but we can have urgency, and you can do it in unique ways with discount codes like that.
Yeah. I think urgency. What's your pricing strategy?
Totally agree.
Urgency. Like I was telling you guys before, the offering free priority shipping, like you bake in that cost into your base product and you offer free priority shipping for December, right? Or after a certain price threshold has been reached. But adding that to those last minute sales, that could be the difference for you. Some of these folks who are coming in for Christmas now or holidays in general, like I purchase things for people all year round for the holidays because I'm just that person. I'm a Capricorn. We like to plan. But I will say that there's a lot of folks who are purchasing like the week before. And those people are willing to spend so much money to get the gift there on time that you can kind of charge whatever you want for priority shipping, which I think is one of the best techniques. Like I've actually, we had a merchant last year who did priority shipping for $50. Wow. $50 and it worked. Okay. Wow. So we split priority shipping with you guys cost wise. And if you're adding that extra 10, 20, 30, in this case, like I had $30 more, right? But people are purchasing it because they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that it's next week. This just completely, surprised me and I've got to get these gifts there on time. That's almost the exact same amount that he was for that particular product. Like I think the product was like a $67, $70 and the priority shipping was $50 and he was getting it. Which is like, it just shows too that like if you have a good product, again, the cost, people will pay anything for it. So I think a lot of folks tend to like, if they're not making sales, they tend to drop their product pricing. And honestly, during the holidays, that's like one of the worst things that you can do. You're first of all, you're downplaying the quality of your product. Anytime you do that, you are absolutely downplaying the higher quality of your product. And you're just cheapening the rest of your store. So it makes a lot of sense for you to, if you're going to do anything here in terms of pricing, consider baking in the priority shipping cost and then charging like $30 for it because people will pay that, especially during those last minutes. So my pricing strategy is to capture those last minutes and to get some extra margin from the priority shipping.
Yeah, last minute shoppers are like less like price sensitive and they are more like urgency driven. So it is so cool to like you slightly raise the price a little bit for those like late shoppers. So I think that what I have like repeatedly mentioned in this webinar is to sell in bundle, like the pack of ornaments or something like that bundle. It will not hurt your margin or revenue with like aggressive discount or something like that. Why bundle like encourage your seller your buyers to buy more from you while you still increase your revenue. So
yeah, absolutely. I do want to just get to this one comment. So Shannon says, can you share your Shopify store name? I'm in the setup phase and looking for examples. So Shannon, I adore you and I can totally share that with you in January. As much as I would love, I'm sure, Joe, you're kind of along the same lines where it's like we could probably give you like an example, but for my own store that's selling, I'm protective, baby. I gotta like protect my stuff, especially right in Q4. So please don't take it personally that we won't share our exact store. I won't really feel comfortable until January sharing that. So I just want to, I'm a little protective of my designs and what's selling. I don't, Joe, I'm assuming you're pretty
Yeah,
supportive.
Shannon, on my YouTube channel, I do show a fair bit of stuff from time to time. It's never just like a direct URL, but I've shared examples of things, designs. I also do a series on my channel where I find like really cool print on demand stores and I completely break them down, the home pages, the product pages, all of that. So if you're just looking for like examples of stores, I would send you there as well.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a great point.
Yeah, I don't know if this can help you, Shannon, but Teeinblue also have like a demo store where we illustrate how you can build personalization on your store. So if you need that kind of inspiration for your store, you can go to our demo store at teeinblue.myshopify.com. So I hope this helps.
Nice. And then Kathy asked, does priority shipping move them ahead of other customers? So not usually. Some suppliers and producers will offer like an expedited front of the line kind of surcharge for orders. It's something that only some of them provide to kind of like push your stuff to the front. What priority shipping does do is it will get your order to you like overnight, 2 days tops. Like priority is generally, especially in the US, priority is great. It'll get there very quickly. And it'll also arrive on Sundays, which is something that doesn't always happen. And of course, I don't even know like when, actually, I don't even know what day of the week Christmas is this year, but if, it won't move them ahead, but it will get it there faster.
There's a couple people in the chat asking for my YouTube. It's just my name. If you just go on YouTube and type in Joe Robert, it should come up.
Yeah. And super popular channel, really great stuff, super helpful. I love watching your videos.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I have been a fan of you, Joe, since I started working with Teeinblue. I've been working with Teeinblue for 5 years, so that's how long I have been watching you, Joe.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Love this. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, so the question is, how can sellers stay motivated during such a stressful time? You have us, you have Teeinblue and ShineOn. We always along the side with you. So whenever you feel like if there's any errors or something on your side, feel free to message our support team. We are like happy to help you like during this stressful time. And other thing that you can do during this time is to plan carefully ahead. So start soon and plan carefully. And I just want you to know that it is this season. It's not like forever. So remember, it is temporary. It's like you can feel stressful, but it's not like a lifelong thing. So just let it be.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good.
for sure. I think celebrating small wins is like a big thing to stay motivated. And when I mean small wins, I don't mean like you made a sale this week. You should absolutely always celebrate those. If you're a beginner, even something as simple as purchasing a domain or coming up with your brand name or choosing brand colors, those are wins. Those are absolute wins. And you need to celebrate yourself and your hard work. Every single step that you do to put work towards your store and towards your own success, you should be celebrating, because that is a step that 1,000 other people aren't taking. And you are giving yourself, if not more, right? You are giving yourself such a leg up just by celebrating some of these small things. Don't compare yourself to other people, right? When you're running a race, what do they always tell you? Don't look at the other folks, because you're just going to slow yourself down. You keep your eye on the prize and celebrate all of your little wins. today, did you respond to a customer email, or did you automate your abandoned carts emails? That's a win. Celebrate that win. You deserve that win. That's a huge step. So I would say celebrate your little wins. That's a great way to stay motivated.
I always tell people, and I talk to a lot of people. I am constantly doing, my own webinars and things like that. And one of the things that I always tell people when they are new, and I'm not assuming that everybody here is new, but I'm sure maybe some are, or maybe they're hoping to have like their first like really successful Q4. What I always tell people is two things. The first is you have to manage your expectations a little bit. If you are putting an insane amount of pressure on yourself where within your first 30 days, you have to be like so-and-so that you saw on YouTube that made $6,822 selling a super simple design or whatever the video was titled. If you're not that person in 30 days, that you're a failure, like you have to get that out of your head. This is hard. This is not easy. This is not get rich quick, right? And so you're not building a machine, meaning you're not following steps 1 through 5, and then when you turn it on, it just works, right? Like you're starting a business. You're really doing something, and manage some expectations. Allow yourself to be bad at it for a little bit, right? If you launch a product and it doesn't make sales, that's not a bad thing. That's a normal thing, right? Like every single person here, if you have never launched a print-on-demand product before, at some point when you do, you're going to fail. And what I mean by that is anybody who's making consistent and daily print-on-demand sales with their store, they're likely selling products that they didn't create first. And what I mean by that is every person who ends up being successful with print-on-demand, they had a lot of failures first, and you have to get through those failures in order to get through the success. It sounds like a dramatic way to motivate you, but it's true. You have to fail fast, right? You have to get started and fail at some point and make adjustments. And so definitely manage your expectations. Don't put so much pressure on yourself where in the next 90 days you need to make $100,000 or something like that. You don't have to. The second thing I would say is this is not the end all be all. Print on demand is an all year business. This is not something that we are only doing for the months of October, November, and December. This is a business that you can sell products all year long. So if September comes and you're not where you want to be, and then October comes and you're not where you want to be, and November comes and you're not where you want to be, don't panic. No, this is all year long, right? The Christmas time is obviously just a time where lots of people are buying products. People are still going to Walmart. They're still shopping at Target all year long, right? But those stores are putting a lot of emphasis on the holidays because more people come in during that time. That doesn't mean that they close down for the rest of the year. So manage your expectations and realize that this is an all-year business, and you should be just fine.
Yeah, exactly. If this Q4 doesn't go exactly the way you want to, you have Valentine's Day, you have Mother's Day right around the corner. In fact, like testing Valentine's Day stuff, in the middle of Q4 is actually pretty reasonable because it shows up 6 weeks after, January 1st. So you've definitely, that kind of looking forward aspect is a great way to stay motivated for sure. All right, you guys. But wait, there's more is what that's supposed to say, but my gifts aren't working. So I don't know, Billy Mays. But wait, there's more, you guys. Let's go. All right. This has been a killer webinar. So far, it looks like we have so many folks who are just like, oh, excuse me, Yesenia, the 3 of you are my dream team. Yes, Queen, we're here for that. Absolutely. You say things like that more often. We should hang out. You guys, it has been so awesome to have you guys here with this webinar. And because you are here, we are so excited to offer you this awesome holiday selling toolkit. So for joining today, ShineOn is going to give you a 10-page holiday selling guide. It gives you everything from historical insights to the top 10 products that were sold in Q4 to pricing strategies to all sorts of things in there. You've got an awesome clip art pack that will be coming to you from Teeinblue with some of their trending designs that are currently popping off in Teeinblue. And then you will also get a free Q4 bootcamp ticket to 5 days of free beginner training from Joe himself. So Brooke has put the link in the chat. Guys, go in there. You can go put in your email and you will get emails. Check your email after you put it in. You will get your selling guide. You'll get your bootcamp ticket and you'll get your clip art pack. So, oh, you guys, we did it.
Yay. And I just want to add one more gift to you guys. From Teeinblue, you not just receive the clip art pack, but like as a strategic partner from ShineOn and Joe, I want to give you guys a free month of using Teeinblue. So you can scan this code or using the link down below to use Teeinblue for free. So this code will only valid until the end of September. So run and scan the code now.
Oh, are you using urgency?
Yeah, I learned it.
I love that. You guys, the Teeinblue link is also included at the bottom of this YouTube post, as well as it'll be in your emails. You guys, be prepared. We've got just some awesome things for you in here. You are all headed for just, we're wishing you all the best success in Q4. Do you guys have any like parting words you want to give to our fam here?
I would just echo exactly what I said a moment ago, right? Just take the pressure off yourself. Have fun with your store. Order samples. It's really cool to get samples in the mail of your stuff. If you're struggling with motivation, if you're feeling stagnant, order a sample of your item. There's nothing better, even after almost 10 years of doing this, than getting a sample in the mail and opening it and knowing that I designed this product. Right? That's a really cool thing. So just have fun and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I just want to wish you all like all the best of luck for this Q4 and for your like print-on-demand journey. And remember, you are not alone. You have us on your journey. So good luck.
Yeah, I love that. Exactly. You guys are not alone. Remember, we've all got really killer support teams. We are here to help you. We're working faster production, faster shipping. We have all the tools for success. And if you ever have any questions, just ask.
Yes.
Right? It never hurts to ask. Just ask. You guys have got this. We have absolutely loved being with you guys today, and wishing you all of the best and all of the success with Q4. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.